Thank you, everybody. Woohoo! That's right. Hi-yahoo. So I'm so grateful to be here again, especially for this outdoor experience. You know, there is something about to be outside that naturally invites us to breathe a little deeper. And we all know spirit is not confined to a building or a room because it's everywhere equally present. So here we are. Today I want you to invite to play with me, not to figure everything out. Oh no, we far from that. Not to get everything right either. No. Not to have the perfect answer. Just to play with an idea. And that idea is what I'm calling holy curiosity. Our theme for July is playful exploration. And our affirmation is, I playfully explore what expands my heart. I love that because playful exploration, that reminds me on holy curiosity. It is the willingness to approach life not with a clenched fist, but with an open heart. Not asking, how do I control this? But asking, how is this inviting my heart to expand? Holy curiosity is the willingness to meet life with wonder instead of judgment. It is the willingness to pause before we decide what something actually means. It is the willingness to ask what else could be true here, or what is spirit revealing, or how might good be unfolding even before I understand it. So let's stop here for a minute. And I want to ask you, all of you adults that are available and able to please stand up. And so now, take off your adult. Exactly. Strip it right off. You can toss it away. You can pull it up easy and tuck it under the chair, but know for sure it will come back. It's safe there wherever you are. So now I want you to, before I ask you to sit down, I want you to take a quick scan in your body. How do you feel? And when I ask you to sit down, I want you to notice, A, do you want to sit down? If yes, then do. If no, please stand. And ask your body, why? Just simply ask the body what's going on. And so, when you do sit down, notice, do you fall into the chair or do you lower yourself gently? Just notice. Okay, are you ready to play? Sit down. But also, if you sat down, what did it feel like? Was it a natural, okay, I'm ready, I sit down? Or did you just fall in? Oh my God, I'm so relieved. And for the people who are standing, was that a command you didn't want to hear? What went on? What went on in you? Ask yourself that question. So it's all good, whatever it is. When you're ready, you may be seated. To me, this is part of metaphysical meaning of childlike faith. It is not childishness. It is not pretending. It is not ignoring facts. Childlike faith is that open, receptive place within us that has not forgotten how to trust, how to wonder, and how to ask, how to receive. Charles Filmer gives us a way to understand why this matters spiritually He says, faith is the perceiving power of the mind linked with the power to shape substance. And that is what I want to explore today. What happens when we swap judgment for wonder? And what happens when we allow the child within to lead us back to trust? Can we connect faith and the power to create? Most of us have a very quick mind. Something happens, and before we know it, we already named it. This is good, this is not good, this is bad, this is terrifying, this is a problem. This cannot be right. The adult mind loves certainty. It loves control. It loves to say, I know. And sometimes that is helpful. We need discernment. We need wisdom. We need practical action. But there is another kind of knowing that comes through openness. There is a spiritual intelligence that can only be heard when we are not too busy defending what we already believe. The child within us asks different questions. The child within says, what is this? How does it feel? What happens if I look again? Could there be something I do not yet see? That kind of curiosity can be holy because it opens a door. It interrupts fear. It interrupts defensiveness. It interrupts the assumption that we already know what spirit is doing. Holy curiosity does not mean we abandon common sense. It means we bring our common sense into partnership with spiritual oneness. I had an experience recently that helped me to see that very clearly. At first I was certain, then I was confused, then I was suspicious, then I was willing to ask, what is mine? What is right? What is spirit showing me? We were doing our taxes with our tax person, going through everything line by line, and she says, Monika, you have a riff from the Royal Bank. Oh, yeah, it's another riff from someplace else. No, I don't. Yes, you do. It is for $1,129.97. No, I don't. Yes, you do. And it's from Canada Life Assurance Company, and CRA has a slip for it, so we have to report it. Now, in that moment, my mind was not in holy curiosity. My mind was in holy denial. I was very clear. No, I don't. I did not recognize this. I did not understand it. And because I did not understand it, my first response was to reject it. But the document was there. CRA had the slip. So I went onto my CRA account, and sure enough, there it was. Then I called my bank, and they could not find that amount of $1,129.97. And it had never issued to me in 2025. So now I had one piece of information saying, yes, this exists, and another piece saying, we do not see this money. And that is often where our spiritual practice begins. Not when everything is clear, but when life gives us mixed messages. So I called CRA, and the agent says, yes, it could have come through a former company. pension plan, and I should call Canada Life Assurance Company, and he even gave me a contact number. So I called Canada Life, and after a few transfers, explanations, identifications, a few holds, I was told I would receive a package in the mail. When I asked what this was all about, they said, I could not discuss that on the phone. All will be revealed once you receive the package. Oh my God, what? That's quite a sentence. All will be revealed. That's almost biblical. And it's also very annoying when you are trying to do your taxes. The next day, Diane from Canada Life Assurance called me. She explained that an RRSP had become a RIF when I turned 71. Full disclosure, I'm older than that. And they had been trying to send me a check for my first payout. We made arrangements to have that check reissued and the policy to be sent to me by email. Now you may think at this point I would just simply say, thank you, Spirit. And I did feel grateful, don't get me wrong, but something else happened too. When the email arrived, I noticed my last name was misspelled. Only one M. And suddenly the question changed. It was no longer, is there money? It became, is this my money? That is a very important distinction. Holy curiosity is not just curious about receiving good. It is also curious about truth, integrity, and right action. It asks, what is mine? But it also asks, what is right? So, I emailed Diane and said that I was concerned this might not be my money. I called CRA again, and this time the agent figured, you're right, it might not be your money. Diane replied that she would have to investigate further and, oh my God, delete everything that I sent you and do not print anything out. At this point, I was in the middle place. Not yes, not no, not mine, not mine. Just waiting. And waiting is where many of us rush to conclusion. We want certainty because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. Now, this was also the place where the practice became very real. Could I stay open? Could I be grateful without being attached? Could I tell the truth, take the right actions, and still trust that Spirit was present in this process? On Saturday, which was the following day, I had my practitioner do a treatment for removing any doubt or apprehensions about claiming freely what is mine. And after that, something shifted in me. The emotional charge was gone. That is one of the signs for me that I have moved from fear into trust. The situations might not have changed yet, but I have changed in the situation. I came to this place. If it turns out that I'm not the correct recipient, then I'm glad to have raised the concern. If it is proven that I am the correct recipient, then I joyfully accept it as my good. What's right is right, what's mine is mine. And Spirit is my source of all good. That to me is childlike faith. It is not demanding that life prove itself on my timeline. It is not clenching my fist and saying, this must be mine. It is not shrinking back and saying, I'm not worthy to receive. Childlike faith stands open-handed. It says, I'm willing to receive what is mine. I'm willing to release what is not mine. I trust the truth. I trust the process. And I trust spirit. Then I entered Prosperity Plus 3 as an assistant. Do you know that class? It is a beautiful class about prosperity and tithing. The idea is that as we learn and apply the lessons, our prosperity expands. Students are invited to tithe 10% during class time, what they receive in that time. I done my tithe in the class, and then I remembered after class was done, oh my goodness, I got a $35 check. So I quickly tithed $3.50 to the center. And 3 days later, I was notified that the RRSP that has turned into a RIF was truly mine. They had found paperwork with my signature on it. Way back when, from 1985. No wonder they didn't have my address. Now, I'm not sharing this story as a formula. I'm not saying if you tithe $3.50 today, 3 days later you will get a financial confirmation. Okay? Spirit is not a vending machine. But I'm sharing this as a reminder that when we align with truth, gratitude, integrity, and receptivity, we make ourselves available to recognize our good when it happens. The miracle was not just the money. The miracle was the shift in consciousness from resistance to curiosity, to integrity, to trust. So I want to bring us back to the invitation I began with. Would you come and play with me? This week, when something happens, when something unexpected shows up for you, before you decide what it means, pause. Before you say, no, I don't, or that cannot be, this is terrible, pause. Pause and ask, what else could be true here? What is Spirit revealing? What is the right action for me to take while staying open to good? Let the July affirmation become a living practice. I playfully explore what expands my heart. Let it be more than words we say together. Let it become a way of meeting the unknown, softening around uncertainty, and remembering that exploration does not have to be heavy. It can be playful. And it definitely can be guided by Spirit. The child within is not foolish. The child within is free. The child within remembers wonder. The child within remembers trust. The child within can lead us back to the place where we do not have to force life because we are willing to listen to it. May we be willing to swap judgment for wonder. May we be courageous enough to tell the truth, tender enough to receive our good, and open enough to trust the process. May we remember that spirit is the source of all good, and may we live with open hands, open hearts, and holy curiosity. And so it is.